Hello guys, welcome to the Keypad tutorial for TxCOM application. In this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create a keypad profile and how to start the voice recognition process. Well, let's move to the keypad screen inside TxCOM application. There you're gonna find a keypad and some buttons down below. And as you can see, we have the same toolbar than in other screens with 4 buttons. So let me describe these buttons a little bit. The first one is the setup button, and we're going to use it for setting the configuration for each button. The second one is the speech button, and we're going to use it to start the voice recognition process. The third one is the speak button, and we're going to use it to receive and acknowledge every time we say a voice command. And the fourth one is the open save button, and we're going to use it to open and save keypad profiles inside TxCOM application. Okay, in order to create a new keypad profile, the first thing we need to do is setting up our buttons. We have to set up each button at a time. The first button we're going to set up is going to be the up button. In order to do this, you first need to tap the setup button in your toolbar. Then you need to tap the button you want to modify. You're gonna have the setup screen available now. So the first field we need to check is the communication type. We have 2 options, Bluetooth and TCP/IP. This time we're gonna go with Bluetooth. And by the way, all the fields you have there are mandatory. If you're missing any of the fields you have there, you're not going to be able to continue with your button. The next field is the button title. This is the name your button is going to have. So as I'm going to be connected to a microcontroller with 2 LEDs, one red and one green, this is the button is going to help me to turn the green LED on. So let's call it turn green on. The next field is the voice command. This is the command this button is going to respond to once you start the voice recognition process. In my case, I'm gonna use Spanish because that's the default language on my cell phone, but you might want to use the default language configured on your cell phone. So anyways, I'm gonna use prende el color verde, which means turn green color on. So the last field is the button message. Here we have to set up the information we want to send to the device we're connected to every time we tap the button or every time we say the voice command configured within. So in my case, my microcontroller has 5 commands configured. As you can see, the first one is the command I have to set up right now, because that's the one for turning the green LED on. So I have to type a G1 inside the text box. So now my button is done and I can tap OK. So now we're gonna set up a button to turn the green LED off. So let's go. Let's choose Bluetooth. And now we're gonna call it turn green off. And our voice command is gonna be apaga el color verde, which means turn green color off. And as you might remember from the commands table, we need to send a G0 in order to turn the green LED off. So you only need to do the same thing for the rest of the buttons you're gonna use. I am only gonna use 5 buttons, so I only need to configure 3 buttons more. So this time I'm only using these 5 buttons, but you're free to use all the buttons down below. And of course the process for setting up those buttons is the same. Okay, so now that we have our profile ready to be saved, we need to use the Open Save button in your toolbar. So tap it, and then you have to set up a name for your profile. I'm calling it Colors, but you can name it as you wish. Okay, now you can open your profile anytime you want by tapping the Open Save button, and your profile must be available now. Now, in case you don't need that profile anymore, you can delete it by tapping and holding the name of your profile. Then will appear a submenu and you can choose delete. So that's the way you can get rid of a profile you don't need anymore. So let's continue with the tutorial. We're gonna make a test and we're gonna need the profile we just create. But first, in order to use the keypad functionality, we need to enable some communication type. So in this case, as you might remember, we're gonna use serial port through Bluetooth. So let's connect to our device. If you don't know how, you might want to visit the serial port tutorial for TxCOM application in the link below. So once we're already connected to our microcontroller, we can start our testing. Okay, here you have my Bluetooth device connected to my microcontroller. We're gonna test the profile we just create. So let's try the buttons. Let's turn green on. Okay, let's turn it off. Now let's turn the red on. And let's turn it off. Okay, now let me show you all the historical messages. Remember, the darker blue boxes are the messages we have sent, and the lighter blue boxes are the messages we have received. So as you might remember from our commands table, we have all the commands and responses we have there. We have the G0 and the G0 OK, the R1 and the R1 OK, and well, you might want to check the list, but everything's there. Okay, now that we have already checked all the historical messages, you might want to clear the screen, and you can do that by tapping twice and tapping OK. Now let's try a final test. Let's try the both LEDs on button. So we're gonna tap the center button, and there you go. both LEDs on. Now let's turn it off one by one. Okay, now that we have tested our profile, you may want to start the voice recognition process. So in order to do this, you need to find the speech button inside your toolbar. And you must then tap it. And you're gonna have a screen like this. This is very important. Once you start the voice recognition process, the only interface you have with your cell phone is by speaking, because once you enter into the voice recognition process, the system enters inside a loop that you can only go out by speaking. So that's why the application asks you for setting up an exit command. So every time you start the voice recognition process, the only way you can go out from it is by saying your exit command. So in this case, I chose fuera, which means out. This time, as you can see, I already have an exit command configured, but if this is the first time you start the voice recognition process, you're gonna have a write exit command inside your text box. So please do that, and then you're ready to go. You only need to tap OK, and the voice recognition starts. Okay, now that we have started our voice recognition process, we can start saying our voice commands. So, let's start. Prende el color verde. Apaga el color verde. Prende el color rojo. Apaga el color rojo. Prende ambos colores. Apaga el color verde. Apaga el color rojo. Fuera. And now we can check all the historical messages. Well, that's all. My name is Mauricio Suarez. Thank you for watching this long tutorial, and I hope you find it useful. So if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate in contact me. And thank you again.